All right, guys. I've never seen anything like this. The MAGA's in open revolt against Trump and against this war. I was just on Piers Morgan. I was on with Jack Posobiec. He was originally alt-right. I don't agree with him on anything historically. And here he is saying, yeah, MAGA's against this war. We said America first. No more wars. So you think it's just Posobiec? No way. Tucker Carlson. This morning, Marjorie Taylor Greene was scathing posts on X about being America first, being against the war, not being dragged in this war by Israel. Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk. So all these guys. So look, if you're, we've got to unite. I've never seen the right wing in my lifetime actually have an anti-war movement. It's actually happening now. If you're listening to other left-wing shows and they're telling you, oh, they're all lying. Why? Why would they be lying? What? It's not like they mind sharing opinions we hate. They share them all the time. It's not like they hide anything. They're very obvious about what their views are on things we disagree on, like immigration. So why would they be hiding their real opinion that they're really pro-war here? And what difference does it make if they were doing that? Because what they're saying is to all of their audiences, let's be anti-war. Let's be anti-war. Let's not get dragged into this war in Iran. Take the win. Okay, so look, what form does that coalition take? I don't know. But in my lifetime and in covering politics for 30 years, I have never seen the right wing be this anti-war. And they're media leaders. And they are in an open revolt right now. Mark Levin is attacking Marjorie Taylor Greene. Tucker Carlson is attacking Mark Levin. It's a free-for-all, right? So there's the Israel First crowd, Levin, Ben Shapiro, almost all of their politicians in Congress. And so if you're saying like, oh, no, Cenk, don't you know that Trump is backing Israel? Of course I know. They're in revolt against Trump. That's amazing. That's amazing. We have to find a way to get together to prevent this war. Because, look, guys, again, here's another thing. If you don't get together to prevent the war, then the establishment's going to win. They always win. They have more power. Do they have more voters? Hell no. Now the left-wing voters are against it. The right-wing voters are against it. The middle wing is against it. Everyone is against going into war with Iran. We're already in the middle of the war. Get out, get out, get out, okay? We're have all of our aircraft carriers. It's not all. We have aircraft carriers. We have a lot of ships and planes in the area. We're knocking down Iranian missiles. Apparently, we give intelligence to Israel about where to attack. So we're on the offense, we're on the defense. We're already mired in this war. We got to get out of it. This is not our war, not $1, not one troop. So we've got to take advantage of this opportunity to unite. So if you're listening to other shows that are telling you, don't listen to them, it's a trap. If you agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene or Tucker Carlson on being anti-war, that means you have to agree with them on everything else. No, you don't. No, you don't. Use your own mind. Use your own independent judgment. You can disagree and fight with them on all those other things. And besides which, we're not going to them. They're coming to us. The left has been anti-war for my entire life. Are you now saying we're not anti-war? Of course we're anti-war. So when the right says, and their media leaders now say they're anti-war, that's great. Our only opportunity to stop this war is if we unite. And it doesn't mean unite on all issues. It doesn't mean unite on voting. It just means right now, find a way to build for the first time in my life, a cross-partisan coalition of the voters. The politicians are nearly hopeless. So if you say, oh, well, the right-wing politicians, the Republicans in Congress serve Netanyahu loyally, not only do I agree with that, now a lot of, if not most of MAGA agrees with that. And by the way, are we honest about our own side? Of course, on the Young Turks we are, and a lot of progressives are. But Democrats, are they really against this war? The Democratic politicians, the voters definitely are. The politicians, I bet you the majority of Democratic politicians in Congress say, we bow our heads, Israel first, Israel first. We must defend our great special ally. We must spend another $300 billion on them. We must send in U.S. troops to do their fighting for them. We must follow our orders from Israel. Remember, both left and right-wing legislators who are honest have talked about how almost everyone in Congress has an Israeli handler. This is insanity. So the voters need an uprising. We need a rebellion against the establishment. Right now, Donald Trump is mainly backing Israel. That is why it's brave of MAGA to say, no, we don't agree with our leader. Were we that brave? Young Turks passed the test. A lot of progressive passed the test. But did everybody pass the test of defying our leaders when Joe Biden said he was young and dynamic and that we all needed to follow Israel's orders? A lot of us rebelled. A lot of us rebelled. But did we all rebel? No. Okay. We need to rebel against our own leaders. Democrats need to do it. Republicans need to do it because they're both on the same team. The uniparty is true. It's good. They pretend to be good cop, bad cop. And at the end, what do? We go to Iraq for Israel. We go to Iran for Israel. Iran is 4 to 5 times size of Iraq. No, get out of these wars. The left doesn't want it. The right doesn't want it. The only people that want it are people taking direct cash from the Israeli lobby. Let's be honest about it. AIPAC was the #1 donor to members of Congress in this election cycle. Anyone that tells you that that's not relevant is lying to you on purpose. That is almost all of mainstream media. What have progressives that support Bernie Sanders been aligned against? Mainstream media and the establishment. What is MAGA now saying that they're against in regards to this war? Mainstream media and the establishment. And yes, politicians on their own side, right? Guys, if you're looking for what's causing the wars, what's causing all of our problems, stop looking left or right. Look up. Look up. It's the people in power that cause these wars. It's the people in power that love dividing us. So on a lot of issues, we are divided. We just don't agree, right? But on this issue, almost all American voters agree. We need to act on that agreement. So tonight on the Young Turks, we're at 6 o'clock Eastern. You know, we're live 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern every day, Monday through Friday, right? And I'm going live more and more for you guys because now Israel's trying to drag us into this war just like they did with Iraq. And so we've seen this movie before. Wake up, everybody snap out of it. Not just snap out of being in favor of this war. I don't think anybody watching is in favor of this war other than Israeli bots and trolls. Like, oh, Israel is avoiding civilian casualties. The dangerous terrorists, Muslims love to kill civilians. Nonsense. Israel has killed hundreds of civilians in the middle of the capital city of Iran, Tehran. It doesn't mean that you have to be in favor of the Iranian regime. Being against the Iraq war didn't mean you had to be in favor of Saddam Hussein. This is all propaganda. American media propaganda, politician propaganda, Israeli propaganda. So we don't need to fight every war for Israel. We need to unite against the establishment that is trying to get us to do that. The American people need to rise up. This is an amazing moment in time where we can do that. But if you're both of the sides, whether they're media or political figures on the right or the left, are telling you, no, it's more important to hate your fellow Americans, to hate the other side, than it is to stop this war, then understand which side they're on. They're on the side of war. They're on the side of division. They're on the side of the establishment. They're on the side of mainstream media. Divide, divide, divide. Because if you unite, that is your only hope. Your only hope of stopping this war. Your only hope later of getting money out of politics. But if you're divided, perfect. Israel wins. So if they're telling you it's some sort of trap, that these right-wing figures aren't actually anti-war, go listen for yourself. Don't believe the liars who are telling you things that aren't true. They are against the war. So for God's sake, care about policy, eyes on the prize. There are so many lives on the line. And let alone the unbelievable treasure we're going to waste with another war in the Middle East. We don't have any money. We got to cut Medicaid. We got to cut SNAP. We got to cut Social Security offices, I'm told. Okay, I don't want to cut any of those things. But they say, oh, no, we have to cut those. Why? Of course, one, that rich need more tax cuts. Corporations need more tax cuts. Who are they? They're also donors. The donors control everything. But on top of all of that, we need to spend, another couple of $1 trillion on another war in the Middle East when we don't have any money here at home? Nope, nope, nope. You have to pay for Israel's war. Israel has paid family leave. We don't. Israel has universal health care. We don't. Israel's taken $311 billion from us, let alone the trillions we spend in Iraq. But nope, not enough, not enough. They want more. And then when you frame it as, wait, why? When are we going to get the 311 back? When are we going to get the billions back? When are we going to get the trillions back? No, 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 no. Special ally means you serve them, you give them endless money and endless troops and whatever wars they want, and they don't have to give you anything back. They say, oh, no, no, we give you intelligence. Yeah, what kind of intelligence? Oh, the fake intelligence about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, so we would attack Iraq. With allies like this, you don't need enemies. Okay, so because Israel will create infinite enemies for us. And they've done it before. They've done it throughout their entire history. They're doing it now. Nope, nope, nope. You have to hate the Muslims. You have to constantly attack all of the Muslim neighbors of Israel, coincidentally, because we're so worried about nukes. North Korea developed nukes in Trump's first term. Everybody said, oh, no, we can't let them develop nukes. And then we let them develop nukes. Why? Because they were not a threat to Israel. So no one cared. Oh, you want to develop nukes and you're a super dangerous country with like a lunatic dictator like North Korea? Who cares? Get the nukes. That'll be South Koreans who die or Japanese who die. Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't involve Israel. Iran might have a nuke a year from now, Netanyahu said over the weekend. Might a year from what happened? I thought it was days away. For 33 straight years, and Marjorie Taylor Greene pointed this out, Piers Morgan pointed out this morning, for 33 straight years, Israeli officials have been telling us that Iran is weeks or months away from developing a nuclear weapon. They have been lying the entire time. When are we all going to get sick and exhausted from Israel's lies to take more money from us and to start more wars? These are facts. And if you see a mainstream media reporter saying, no, even though AIPAC was the number one donor to our politicians, you should ignore that because acknowledging that fact is anti-Semitic. Facts are anti-Semitic. Did we actually give $311 billion in adjusted for inflation numbers to Israel over the course of Israel's history? Yes. What did they give back to us? Nothing. Nothing. Oh, start another war. Start another war. Israel demands it. We are the special ally. No, you're not. So if you're in the right wing and you're against this war, I agree with you. I have the courage to agree with you. You have the courage to agree with us. If you are on the left or the right and you're against the war, but you say, I rather hate the other side in America than actually prevent this war. Well, all right, brothers and sisters, I don't agree. I don't agree that tribalism should trump policy. I don't agree that tribalism is more important than actually preventing a war that is going to cost us an unbelievable amount of money and, yes, our troops. So right now, I'm going to think about it. I'm going to try to come up with a way to build an effective coalition against this war that is grassroots, because almost no one in Washington serves us. Almost all of Washington is Israel first. Now you're beginning to feel what it feels like to be a Palestinian. We're in occupied territory. Washington doesn't work for us. Washington works for corporations and foreign countries that give them money. And if you're in mainstream media and you say, no, the politicians are not affected by the millions of dollars that lobbies for foreign governments give them, you're a lunatic. That's a deranged conspiracy theory that American politicians are so moral, so honest, that they are not affected by millions of dollars. They just happen to think that the corporations and foreign governments that give them money are 100% right. Not because of the bribes, campaign contributions that they got, the millions of dollars in legalized bribes that they got from Israel, from big pharma, from oil companies. They're not at all influenced by that because they're angels, because they're superhuman and they're so moral that they would never be affected by that. You're not a reporter if you say that. You're a sad, pathetic marketing executive for those corporations, for lobbyists, in this case, the government of Israel. So go serve them, okay? Because you're not serving the American people. You're not doing news. Yes, Politicians are affected by the hundreds of millions of dollars that they get. And yes, including from the Israeli lobby. And yes, that is why they're trying to push us into a war when none of the American people want it. All right. Tonight at 6 o'clock, all the details of the MAGA revolt, what Trump's doing, what Israel's doing, the amount of civilians that Israel has killed while pretending that everyone else is terrorists. Okay. Mike Hokerts, thank you for joining, brother. And thank you to everyone. Disco Stu, thank you for contributing through Super Chat. Look, we all got to stick together, man. And so I know it's hard times. I know we disagree with MAGA on so many other things, including what's happening in American cities. But if we're divided on this issue, we will never win. And I want to win, and I want to stop this war. And for once, I want to have the American politicians serve the American people. Okay, so tonight, Young Turks on YouTube, 6 o'clock Eastern. We'll see you guys there.